Alrighty guys, it's March 31st here on Thursday. We've had about an inch of rain the past day and a half here. The dog kind of chewed my rain gauge up. But anyway, I thought I'd do so we weren't doing any field work and whatnot, and I thought I'd do a video on the cattle barn update here. We've done a little work on it since. Been doing some steel fabrication work in there. Kind of a side job with farming. See, I got the rafters there. Got 5 rafters on 9-foot spacing. And there's the rest of the stuff I haven't used yet, and there's a pallet of stuff there in the shed. Got my brush pile burned up pretty well though. Finally had some warm weather dried out. Alrighty, here we go. Got one more column to set right there, but I'm going to wait till we get this rafter set right here to do that, because that one's going to be kind of tricky. We're going to have to lift it up over the top of those. I got a guy who lives a couple miles from here who's going to let me borrow his SkyTrak. Anyway, I had these holes here. I was going to originally think about digging them or drilling them myself, but they got to be about 4 to 5 feet and 14-inch diameter minimum. So I called a local company that puts up sheds, and for $350 they came out and drilled these holes for me, which only took them about an hour. Would have took me about 4 days probably, so I figured that was money well spent. And there were roots and everything, and that skid steer they had at the altar just ran right on down through it, which I would have got a video doing that, but that was the day we were starting putting on anhydrous, and would have been about a week and a half ago, and I didn't have time to do that. Sorry about that. But anyway, it's kind of tricky. These holes here all lined up pretty well with the posts. We didn't get them laid off quite right because the shed kind of screws us up here. The top of the shed, of this existing shed here, is square with everything, but the bottom of it's not square. And if you look down it, you can see it kind of angles in like that, and so the rafter's straight, and this rafter's going to be straight, but we had to move these posts around, and that made it tough figuring out how to lay off the rest of this. And it's when we finally got around or set the posts here a couple days ago, we had it, or no longer than that, about a week ago, it turned it out that north row there, which we thought was going to actually be the farthest off, turned out to be the most, or the closest on to what we had originally drilled the holes to. These two here, Grandpa said way back in the day there used to be an old barn that sat here, and so we hit a concrete footing or whatever for it and couldn't go any deeper than a couple feet, and so that's why that hole in very deep. We're going to fill this one full of concrete. That's why I got them bars screwed on there, just kind of give a little more reinforcement. And that's why, and that one's not terribly deep either. I'm going to fill them with dirt up about that far, then I got a bag of concrete I'm going to throw in each hole in, and then finish filling it with dirt just to give it some more strength. Bag of concrete was $2.25 at Menards, so I figured that ain't too bad for a little insurance there, but you can see it's a little deeper there. They put a concrete, they call it a chip, in the bottom, big slab 4 inches thick, about like that, precast. And you can see it there, the post sits on that then. Sloppy mess out here. A lot of clay, and holds it pretty well full of water, but that's the way it is. I think the next step we're going to do, we're going to put some bracing on the posts in between all the posts, and we're going to set that rafter next and get the rafters set, and then go ahead and put all the girts and then the purlins on the rafters. Once we get the rafters set, I'll be feeling pretty good about it. But and how you set these, you guys ever, if any of you ever put one of these up, took us a little bit to figure this one out, but we should have read the blueprint sooner. Instead of trying to get all the holes perfectly even with the bottoms to the post sit just right, you can see there they notch out, the rafter sits down in the middle of that post, or the sun's gonna block that or whatever, but anyway, you can see there the rafter sits down in the middle, and then you just put a block underneath it however high it needs to be, and we'll probably cut the top 2 feet or 2 or 3 feet of that off, and it'll have like a 10-inch block in there. And that's how you, so if your posts aren't level, you can just, however long you cut that block is however long the rest of it, or however high it sits then. So yeah, it'll be the I'll have a post here, and I'll put a bunch of hay and feed wagon right here in this half, and then in this half it'll have a cattle pen then. And I'll probably fence off that little bit there. I wish we farmed this to where I could fence off some more of that, and I thought about I might call the guy who owns this and see if I could rent half an acre off of him of this grass right here and fence it in. Because all he's doing is just mowing it. I'm sure he'd rent it to me, but about spent all my money this year, so that might be next year, buy some fencing supplies. But I've got enough fence stuff right now to do this little back area here. So I think that'll about be it for this video. I might try to get one set in the rafters or something. We'll see how things are going, if it's going pretty easy or not. But anyway, thanks for watching.